Hey guys, Razorblade Mango here, and today I want to throw out a little PSA regarding the PC version of Rime, which is the latest game from Tequila Works. I'm not going to be talking about the actual game and its quality today, because I want to save that for another video, but if I have to say so now, it's okay. It's fine, and that's all I'll say about it right now. It's fine. I'm about 3 hours into it, and this video is not going to be about the game itself, like I said. What I want to talk about today is the PC version of it, and why I think you guys should hold off on getting it. If you were planning on buying the PC version of Rime and you really want to max this game out, I'd wait until a couple of updates have helped this game out. So I'm going to provide examples, and I have my frame rate counter in the top right, top left, and I have it there for a reason, using fraps, and right now I can get a nice buttery smooth 60 frames per second on this. It will occasionally drop to like 50s, like high 50s if I start shaking the camera around like this in like the background area. And I know what you're thinking, like, okay Razorblade Mango, the game looks fine, runs at a nice almost rock solid 60 frames right now. What's the problem? Well, the problem is I have this on medium. So if I go here, let's crank it up to high. Let's start with that. And let's go back. Alright, so this is high. And let's run around, kind of shake the camera over here, and already we notice a little bit of a difference. We got, dropping into the high 40s occasionally, depending on how much you jerk the mouse around. But right now, it's relatively decent 60 frames if you keep it away from, a lot of environments with busy work in it. And if you have them facing this, you'll get like it's showing right now, 51, 52, 50, 50 even, 49, 48, which is a little concerning. Now, let's put this to Ultra. And keep in mind, I'm running this on a GTX 1060, which, for comparison, I can run The Witcher 3 on pretty much every Ultra graphics setting at 1080p except foliage. That's when it starts taking the hit. But again, that's The Witcher 3, one of the most impressive looking games out there. And I can run it at like a rock solid 60 frames if I have everything except foliage on Ultra. That's impressive. And even having foliage on high makes it like rock solid 60. It looks amazing. And Rime doesn't have anywhere near the detail of The Witcher 3. Now, God, even in the menu, it's like 51, 52. Let's crank it up to Ultra and apply kaboom. 18, 17 frames a second, and oh, it gets worse. Already you can tell. Look at that. Look at that mouse. Just the response time on it is just so jittery. It's like so much stuttering. It looks terrible. Even the act of running my mouse over these icons, just it looks like garbage. It has such a huge delay time. And I guess the worst of all, how it makes the game look, which woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, look at that. Look at that choppy frame rate. It can't even do 30. It can't even do 30. On this, on my GTX 1060, it can't even do 30. Over here, it goes up to 37, 35. Can't even do 40. You can't even do 40 on these really, if you're just looking at this wall right here, it can barely hit 40. You go over here, bam, drops up to, high 40s, still not 50s, still not great. So, it's not good. And I think this is another good area to show off the problems. And oh god, if you start jumping around in this area, ooh, look at that. Ooh, you're going back down. Stand still, just keep walking. It gets a little bit better, but mostly still not that good. But man, you run towards this area, look at that. 29, 28, whew, Jesus Christ. And here's one of the big tests. If you ever want to test out how your PC is going to run, do this. And oh man, it ruins what is otherwise a beautiful moment and makes it like really choppy and weird. But for comparison, going back to even high, let's try high with this. Boom, already back up to 60. And look at that, beautiful, nice solid 60 frames. Looks incredible. I love this feature of the game, this little puzzle here. I've already solved it, but it is a beautiful, like really awesome idea that they have with this. It's too bad that when the game is running like ass on your computer, and keep in mind, this is a 1060. This isn't even like 970 or anything lower. This is a 1060, and a 1060 is like come on, this should easily be able to run this. So specifically, what is the problem with the Rime PC port? Like, what is causing this to happen? Well, tinkering around with the graphics. So let's put everything to medium. Let's try that out. And you've got it on FXAA with the anti-aliasing. Let's crank that up to TXAA. Okay, still good. Still nice. Everything is on medium except anti-aliasing. Still good. Still runs at a rock solid 60 frames. Love the look of it. Now let's crank it up to SSA. Bam. That's the big problem with the Rime PC port. One of the biggest problems, like the key offender here, is that if you try running this game anti-aliasing on anything except TXAA and below, you try going for SSAA, you get some of the like really noticeable dips in frame rate. Like I haven't even adjusted like the shadows or the fucking texture quality or the bloom or the motion blur or anything. It is just the anti-aliasing. The anti-aliasing is what breaks Rime if you want to do SSAE. Anything below that, you're fine. But it's not acceptable. I still don't believe this is unacceptable. Let's actually do like a live experiment right now. Let's set everything to low. Let's just do low. And like all the other textures, let's go to advanced. All that is turned off. Let's even turn water tessellation off. Let's have, yeah, screen space, reflections, all that off, bloom off, depth of field off, filtering off, motion blur off. All that is off. Now, let's look at that. It's gonna look like crap, but here you go. Back up to nice rock solid 60. Boom. Right there. Still looks nice from a distance. It's when you get up close that the shadows start to look really blotchy. Yeah, look at that, like a lot of flickering. So I don't like to play on low. But for people that don't have good PCs, I guess that's what you gotta do. Now, let's get the anti-aliasing back up to SSAA. And boom, just as I figured, already a noticeable dip in frame rate. Even on low, with everything at low, it still runs really choppy. Look at that. It doesn't even do 30 over here. No difference. Like barely any difference. Like maybe 10 frames difference if I were to have this on medium and low. Can't even do 30 over here. Everything on low except anti-aliasing. Good lord. So this is starting to hurt my eyes. So let's turn off that anti-aliasing. And let's do high, and let's do advanced. Just turn all that on, make everything look good. Anisotropic 16, no problem. Back to 60. Even cranking that up, it's fine. Runs at a very buttery smooth 60 frames most of the time over here. like I said, it's when you start getting into like the higher, more busier areas like this is when you start getting 40s and 50s and all that. But once you're like over here, you're okay. But you crank up that anti-aliasing, whoo, it just goes to shit. Now, it's a little bit of a long walk, but right now I don't think Rime is in a good state on PC. Because when I was downloading the game, I saw like a number of the reviews were like, oh, this game, like, it's beautiful, but it runs really choppily on PC. It just looks like they didn't spend enough time with it. And anti-aliasing kills the thing. The shadow textures can kill the thing. And I was like, oh shit, okay, well I have a 1060. I'm sure I'll be okay. But no, like even on high, going into areas like this where there's a lot of texture quality and everything, and again, this is with that frame rate, like that anti-aliasing, it's off. So even then, we still have problems even with this turned off, even though this is like the big culprit. Now, I want to show you another specific area before I turn it off. It's past this, and no, I gotta remember how to yell. I'm only doing this with the mouse and keyboard because oh, there we go. I didn't want to take the time to put in my controller and everything. It was whatever. So let's just yell. Ha, boom. Goes in there, walk through, there you go. So here's an area where the textures and the shadow quality just takes a noticeable hit once again. If you walk into here, you're going down to 30 frames. And let's do a little bit of an experiment here as well. Let's turn everything to low, except shadow quality. Let's do high with that. Not much of a difference. Everything else is on low except shadow quality, and you're still getting like 30, 31. It's not looking good. So the two big killers of this game, shadow quality and anti-aliasing, with anti-aliasing being the big one. And again, let's turn that to medium, and boom, back to 60. Back to 60, runs at a rock solid 60 frames, looks absolutely great. Even on like medium, it looks good. And crank it back up to high. Ultra, oh god, ultra, no thank you. Turn all this on, turn all this on. All that, very high, yep, all that good shit. Nice, good shit that I paid over $1,000 to experience. And turn the shadow quality to medium. Boom. Still, rock solid 60. Looks great. Go back. High. You're fucked. You're going to 38, son. So yeah. Right now, this is not... Tequila Works, I doubt you're watching this video, but right now, this is not acceptable. I know this was meant to be a PS4 exclusive for some time. I don't know what happened with the story behind that, but... And then once you're out of there, it's like, boom, it's back to being okay, and then you go back to shadowy areas, and it starts dipping again. And... it's not a good look for you guys. It's really not. In fact... It's distracting. Like, when I first played this game, I had everything on... Oh god, and it's going back to 30 again. I better turn that off. So, I was, like, so distracted at the initial beginning. And I wish I had captured that, like, my initial, like, holy, what the hell is going on reaction to it. Because I was just stunned by how crappy the frame rate was. Like, it was going to, like, 20 in the opening cutscene. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is up with this? And I wanted to do everything on Ultra. Like, this PC should easily be able to handle Ultra for this kind of game. Look, it's a nice looking game, but it ain't Witcher 3. Sorry, you're not Witcher 3. You don't look anywhere near as good as Witcher 3. And if I can get Witcher 3 to run at 60 frames, with basically everything except foliage up at Ultra, there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse, Tequila Works. Fix this shit. And for all the people watching right now, I really don't recommend buying Rime on PC. I don't even know if, I'll get to it later, but I don't even know if I'd recommend buying Rime at all right now. But that's a video for another time. Alrighty. Thank you everyone for watching. There's just a quick little video. And again, Tequila Works, fix the anti-aliasing, fix the shadow textures, and you'll be good to go. I don't know why that wasn't fixed before the game came out. Clearly someone at the PC port was asleep at the wheel. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.